To avoid the Supreme Court looking powerless against the executive branch, Marshall read the Constitution closely and realized that the Constitution doesn't give the Supreme Court the power to issue the writ of mandamus on what's called original jurisdiction. Marbury had sued directly to the Supreme Court. Rather, the court only has the power in the Constitution to hear cases on appeal. This may not seem like a big deal, but it's a technicality that gets them around the problem of having the executive branch enforce a decision. Marshall denies Marbury the appointment to the federal judgeship. And this is important because it's the first time that the Supreme Court claims for itself the right known as judicial review, the power for the court to decide the constitutionality of a law. If a law violates the Constitution, the Supreme Court can throw it out under this idea of judicial review. This is important because Jefferson and Madison had argued, and again, Jefferson and Madison are now the people in charge of the executive branch, that states had the power to nullify an act of the federal government in their Virginia and Kentucky resolutions. Marbury counteracts this, right? Because now Marbury versus Madison and John Marshall, the Chief Justice, is now saying that the Supreme Court has the right to declare laws unconstitutional and therefore nullify them. So by denying a single federal court judge his position, the Marshall Court gave itself a far greater role to determine what is and what is not constitutional and implement from their branch a vital check and balance on both the executive by checking the power of the executive orders and the legislative branch by checking the power of different legislation. It becomes an important, vital third branch of the government, and Marshall is going to use this to increase the power of the central government, which is a very important Federalist principle.